You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Y'all, we about to get started. Keep coming in the chat room. We about to talk about Collin the Cap. Talk about these liberals and how they fund our silence with their money. Gonna talk about all that shit. Keep coming in. Share this shit too while you at it. Trying to figure out where I want this. What up, Deep Impressions? What up, Blue Duke? Bill Duke? Blue Duke? What up, Dontrarius? What's up, Kenneth Berry? What's up, Knights King? Thank y'all for answering that poll question that I had earlier. Thank y'all for answering that poll question, because I gotta, I want to balance my interviews. I want to know what y'all like, and overwhelmingly y'all like the balance between interviews and solos. So I'm getting my interviews lined up. I still want to do more interviews, man, but interviews, you gotta schedule people, all that shit. Sometimes I also feel like dealing with it, even though I got people I really want to interview and talk to on here. Even though I got people I really want to talk to on here, I gotta get back on it with the interviews. I don't know. I see I asked my Dr. Randy Short. I don't know. I haven't talked to Dr. Short in a couple weeks. We talked a couple weeks ago, but we haven't talked since. I gotta hit him up. I hit up Dr. Short back when Tariq dropped that bug breaking. When he dropped the bug breaking trailer, Dr. Short was in it. We talked that day, but we haven't talked since. I'm gonna hit him up. And I'm gonna see if I can get Dr. Short on this week. We haven't talked in a while on here. Let's see if I can get him on this week. If he's available. Let's get into this shit. We about to talk about Collin the Kaepernick. We about to talk about that. Ken Berry said that shit on my Facebook page. Collin the Cap. Shit. I was like, I'm about to name the show that. he put that shit out, laughing my ass off at that. Like, okay, yeah. That's definitely gonna be the title now. Definitely gonna be the title. But yeah, Collin Kaepernick, let's give a little bit of background here. I was I backed Colin Kaepernick, you know, when he initially did what he did as far as protesting the NFL. Let's start off by saying, you know, Colin Kaepernick, I'm going to first of all address the people that were saying that he was trash and he couldn't make the NFL, he was no longer good. I can't stand you niggas. Because y'all just go ahead, any chance y'all get to give the white supremacists an out for being white supremacists, y'all take. Was Colin Kaepernick playing at the level he was playing at in 2014? Or was that 13 when he went to the Super Bowl? No. That's because he had a season-long injury. And when you have an injury that has you out for damn near a whole season, it takes a while to come back. And when he came back, he had 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. That's a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Meanwhile, he was replaced by Blaine Gabbert, a shag-wearing white boy who wasn't shit when he was drafted, wasn't shit with the Jaguars, never was shit. We talking about the NFL where people like, what was that, Harrison, that white boy from Oregon, that they gave all them chances to. Alex Smith didn't become a decent quarterback until his 10th season. The black quarterback just off of a major injury. Not his best, but working himself back into shape. Gets kicked out of the NFL because he protested. And what Colin Kaepernick was protesting, we all remember 2016. He was protesting the legal lynching of black people by law enforcement. Kaepernick was protesting the things that black Americans have been talking about for a long time. The police is fucking us up. You know what I mean? A lot of black Americans wanted an athlete to speak up. And so Colin Kaepernick did that. He spoke up. He did that. And I was very proud of him. Very, extremely proud of him. And when he spoke up, there were a lot of people that had his back. Black America, for the most part, had Colin Kaepernick's back. He then, that season that this was going on, he first was sitting on the bench. He wasn't kneeling. It was one of his teammates, one of his white teammates told him it was about, you know, sitting down was disrespectful to the flag or to the soldiers or some shit. And that's what the red herring that the conservative white supremacists threw out, that what made them mad was he was sitting on the bench. And then he went to kneeling. So they made that about the police. They made that about the soldiers. And a lot of people got distracted through 2016 playing stupid that they didn't know what the protest was about. Kaepernick stood strong. Then he started kneeling to compromise. And that's a lesson for a lot of black people. Look, he went from sitting to kneeling. In his compromise, he made things get even worse. Because then it went from talking about police brutality to the whole conversation getting on kneeling. That's why black folks, you can't compromise with these people. You gotta just, man, stand up and hold your nuts, man. Even when you do compromise, they're gonna make some bullshit out of it. in his compromise, they still made the shit about kneeling and not about what he was talking about. They shift the conversation. So Kaepernick stood strong, and no teams re-signed him. Black people were for him, by him, with him, next to him, supporting him, giving him what he needed to press on emotionally. Then he just stopped talking. Kaepernick stopped talking. Here's I'm doing a share of the timeline. This is from Fox News, Fox Business, a timeline. 2016 National Anthem protests. You know, when his relationship with Nike was dormant, Kaepernick was still talking a fair amount of the time. And then in September 2018 is when Nike signed him to that deal. And he was getting quiet. He wasn't talking as much before that deal, leading up to that deal. See, the rest of 2016, 17, he was still running his mouth. As 2018 came around, he started talking less and less and less and less. And then he signed that deal with Nike, and it just went totally silent. And when he went silent, like, I remember telling people back then, when he signed that deal with Nike, that ended whatever protest movement he had going on. Because this is all going to come full circle. Because we're going to get into talking about how liberals use their money to silence black progress. Colin Kaepernick is just an example. I'm going to give you more examples, but I'm talking about how liberals use their money and that fake buddy shit to shut black people up that have something to say. So he signed that deal with Nike. And right when he signed that deal, I knew everything was over with. Because one thing about these shoe contracts, anytime you sign any kind of endorsement deal, they have personality clauses. They have clauses to where you can't necessarily, in those personality clauses, you can't necessarily say what you want to say. Whatever you say has to be cleared by a publicist first. Let me say that again. When you have these shoe contracts, whatever you need to say politically needs to be cleared by a publicist first. That's why, like, remember when Tamir Rice got killed in Ohio? And LeBron James said, well, I don't know nothing about that. That's because his Nike publicist didn't give him anything to say yet. And y'all be like, oh, LeBron speaks out. Yeah, he does speak out. Technically. But if you read through what's being said, that ain't him talking. And what's being said is still safe to the system of white supremacy. It'd be like, okay, yeah, that's wrong. We need to check police brutality. Or my house got vandalized. We need to have police accountability. Anytime they talk about police accountability, police training, those are just nothing words. Those are actionless words. They sound good, but they're backed with no action. So they'll let an athlete use these vague terms to give the appearance of speaking up. Because when they say, you know, we need to end police brutality, and they don't follow it up with a plan, then you're just getting a Sunday morning service, right? And they know one thing about these liberals, they know black folks, we're conditioned to a feel-good message. That's why we as a society, and I'm not shitting on nobody, but I'm just gonna tell the truth the way it is. I've been through it. That's why we as a society can go to church every Sunday, feel good, hear a good message, but in that message not get told anything actionable to do throughout the week to implement any kind of plans to make what happened on Sunday's messages become an action thing. It's just, we hear a good message, we feel good, go back to work Monday, get beat up at work, feel like shit, happy Friday, good day Saturday, oh shit, it's Sunday, gotta go back to work tomorrow. Let me go back to church to get my Hotepish dosage, because that's what the church does for a lot of people. I'm not saying it don't work. It does work if you work it, but let's just tell the truth. Most people don't work it, so I don't fuck around. I'm not here to say your religion ain't gonna work for you, but let's tell the truth. 95% of the people doing it don't work it. They just go for the Hotepish message. It goes and it feels good. Now you get to go home. You get to judge everybody who didn't go, and you go back to living your life the way you lived it before that Hotepish message you got. That, unfortunately, is a major problem within Black society. Hotepish messages. We get high on Hotepish. Thank you, Deep Impressions. Yeah, like this shit. Share, subscribe. We get on that Hotepish. Another major problem with Black folks is, we'll see one person do something and we get behind them and expect them to be the leader. And expect them to do the work. And the minute that person doesn't do the work anymore, the minute that person goes silent, the minute that person gets bought off, the movement ends. The movement ends. The movement ends. So this is how your liberals work it. When you have a Black person with a message, they go two ways with it. And remember, all the media is controlled by liberals. Fox News is conservative in face value. You may have that one little outlet, Fox News, that caters to conservative. But when it comes to the TV media, that's all funded and controlled heavily by the media. They're the ones who decide what you see through your TV and what's not. They're the ones that decide what's offensive and what's not. So, what they do is they either ignore the Black person. If the person is too effective, somebody like a Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson, somebody like a Dr. John Henry Clark when he was alive, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Neely Fuller, somebody like Brother Kaba Kamene, people like Tariq, people like TBA. The people who are very effective, they ignore them for the most part. Or what they'll do is they'll bring you money. If they can't ignore you, they'll bring you money. And in that money, they now control what you say. They now control the message. That's why I always say the civil rights movement, the beginning of the end of the civil rights movement was in 1963 when they had that March on Washington. That was the beginning of the end of the civil rights movement. Because before that, the civil rights movement was for the most part grassroots. Medgar Evers, his years, Paul Robeson, before he got poisoned in 1960. Look up Paul Robeson. All through the 50s and 40s, that was like Dr. John Henry Clark says, it was the pool hall guys funding a lot of that. Your bootleggers, your numbers runners, they was the ones putting money in Malcolm's pockets. They was the ones putting money in Dr. King's pockets early on. But in 1963 is when your liberal organizations came through, wrote a $20 million check and spread that across the Black organizations. And that's when the movement went from liberation to integration. That's when it went to, we need to all come together. We need to just spend, all we want to do, we don't want nothing from you. We don't want reparations. All we want to do is sit at the same lunch counter and spend our money with white people. And we want the same color water fountains. That's what the movement became. That's not how it started. Black people wanted, all black people wanted was equal access to resources. So when they came with the whole integration thing, integration was just another word for equal access to resources. They didn't have the internet back then. You know what I mean? They didn't have the ability to research the way we do now. They just saw white folks had better shit than they had. They wanted that too. That was the mindset. But when those liberal organizations came in, they said, okay, you can get that black people to integrate it. Just sell all your shit, give it all your shit. It's not worth shit anyway. You can come in and spend money with us. Matter of fact, we may even hire you for one generation. And that's what happened. When the liberal money came into the civil rights movement, it went from black folks just basically saying we need funding on our shit to, hey, we need to spend money with you. That's how they changed the message. And again, this is just a history lesson. This isn't with any animosity or hate towards the liberals. They're doing what they have to do. Liberal white supremacy, left-leaning white supremacy is just as white supremacist as right-leaning white supremacy. And this goes back to why I didn't give a fuck about Trump being in office, because he was the white supremacist that I see. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they're like Nike. They're like the liberal organizations that fund black movements. They're not doing it because they like you or they want to give you anything. They just want to give you just enough to shut the fuck up so the system can keep maintaining itself. They play off one another. Liberals and conservatives play off one another. They play a hell of a two-man game. LeBron and AD, Shaq and Kobe. Shaq on the inside, pounding the inside, playing good defense, dunking. Kobe on the outside, wetting mid-range jumpers. You need both to win the game. In order to win the game of white supremacy, you need your liberal side and your conservative side. Good cop, bad cop. So the NFL played bad cop. The NFL came out, was basically right in you niggas' faces like, look, we ain't gonna let him play. And matter of fact, you niggas better not kneel. You niggas better not kneel. Or you ain't gonna be able to play for me no more. That's what they did. You're not gonna be able to play for me anymore if you niggas kneel. And that's when I kind of got off the boat when it came to the whole NFL protest. I told people back when it happened, this ain't about Collin Kaepernick, because if you make it about Collin Kaepernick, they'll end the movement. You got to make it about the injustice that black people are receiving through our legal system and through our police force. That has to be the goal. If you're going to protest the NFL, get these NFL owners and these sponsors to bring attention to what's going on, not follow Collin Kaepernick. Because if you follow Colin Kaepernick, it's going to be too easy for them to pick off Colin Kaepernick. And that's what they did. They did the same thing they did in 1963 with the black organizations. They gave them money. The conservatives said, under no uncertain terms, you niggas better get in line. And then the liberals came in like, no, that's not right. That's not nice. he has to be able to speak. We support you, Collin Kaepernick. We're the good white people. Hey, as a matter of fact, we're going to give you money. That comes with a personality clause. And they did. They took a chance. And I remember initially my immediate returns, the first day it happened, I was very happy. I was proud of Nike for taking a chance. I remember immediately I got caught up in it, kind of like, oh, that's some dope shit. But after like a day or so, I got to thinking like, okay. Why would Nike give Colin Kaepernick that money and run the risk of alienating a major part of their conservative base? Not conservative base, but their conservative supporters, customers. Why would they do that? Then I thought about it some more. Well, Nike really was created and built off the backs of black people. And black people, especially young black people, control what's cool and what's not cool. And every other group tends to fall in line and follow whatever pace we create and set. So the win for Nike can possibly be bigger by going hard in the paint, well, on the surface level for this cause, because it's going to appease your built-in fan base that made you what you are today. Michael Jordan through Bo Jackson and the black athletes that Nike's made his money off of. And then I got to thinking, going back to my days, in and around the NBA a lot, about these contract clauses, these personality clauses. I was thinking like, man, they really do have these personality clauses. And usually when you sign a shoe contract, you can't really say what you want to say. That's why I want y'all to go back and watch that Dave Chappelle special. That first one, I forgot the name of it. The first one he had when he came back out. He had his long hiatus and he had that first big special through Netflix. One of his closing jokes was about shoes and Dr. King. I forgot the joke, but he set it up so well, talking about basically if the shoe contract that came in, we wouldn't have had no civil rights movement. He was right. Go back and watch that joke Dave Chappelle did. A lot of people missed it. But Nike, when they came in with Colin Kaepernick, they got to accomplish two things at once. They got to then effectively silence Colin Kaepernick to the point to where if and when he does talk, he's going to say something that supports the agenda of white supremacy through the left-leaning way. How do black people say things that support white supremacy? We say things that support white supremacy by talking about anything but white supremacy. Let me say that again. We support white supremacy by talking about issues, anything other than white supremacy. So now Colin Kaepernick can use a platform that he built up to talk about human rights, to talk about use vague words like systematic injustice. What the fuck is systematic injustice? What injustice? Who was being unjust? Who caused the injustice? These implied words that ultimately don't fix anything. They got to then now control the message and make a fuck ton of money. Look at this. This is an article from November 26, 2019. A year after Colin Kaepernick signed his deal. Nike's value up. And this is from blackenterprise.com. Nike's value up $26 billion since Colin Kaepernick's endorsement. You see how they play us, black people? I'm not gonna give it to you. Think for a second. You see how they play us? Think about it. They come in as Captain Save-A-Ho, as Captain Save-A-Negro, act as if what they're doing is on our side. But really all it is paying you enough money, which is crumbs to them. Collin Kaepernick got what they say he got 20 million. I forgot the exact amount they say he got, but it was in the $20 million range. But they made over $26 billion in a year. What does that remind you of? They fund the revolution and make money on both sides. Neely Fuller always said, the white supremacist plays both sides of the argument. And the example he used was they'll have a lynch mob. Black person's about to get lynched. When they see the black people on the black side of town are getting really angry, they send a liberal in there to say, hey, it's not right. Black people shouldn't get lynched. Hey, let's not do that. The black people, because we're so in need, unfortunately, at this time in our history, we want to see a white person speak up for us and do the hard work. Too many of us, not the people here in the chat room, of course, but we all got our cousins and friends. We all know them. They want a white person to speak up, so that white person comes to speak up. They have a fight, they have a debate. Black person still gets lynched. Black society's happy that a white person at least acknowledges them. And everybody goes home and goes back and everything, and the status quo stays the same. That black person still got lynched. The black people who were at one point angry, their anger was on a 9. Now, since a white person spoke up, or someone that white people approve of spoke up, the anger goes from a 9 to a 3, and everything stays the same. So Nike funded silence and made money off of it. That sounds like who? Sounds like these motherfuckers right here. Black Lives Matter. I knew something was up with them right away when I saw Black Lives Matter's t-shirts all over the place 2 days after people started saying Black Lives Matter. Black people have the genius, but we do not have the distribution means to have our product on store shelves nationwide 2 days after we introduce a slogan. Now, black folks, we are resourceful. We'll introduce a slogan and have them t-shirts on the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson in 2 days. We'll introduce a slogan and have that shit at the fish market. The nigga selling, this nigga that used to sell CDs, now he's selling t-shirts outside the fish market. We'll have them like that in a couple days. But we're not gonna have shit in Target, online, and in all 48 states within 2 days after introducing a slogan. We don't have the distribution means to do so. So when I saw that, I was already had a red flag about Black Lives Matter. And I want y'all to go back. I'm not gonna go too deep into Black Lives Matter. I did a whole broadcast breaking down Black Lives Matter about a year ago, or maybe a little less than a year ago. It was sometime in 2020. I want y'all to go and look that up. I left you motherfuckers all kind of breadcrumbs on this channel. Back when niggas didn't really start watching this channel till about 30 videos ago. I support y'all. I thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all. Thank everybody from 5150. I thank everybody from Craig Facts. Thank everybody who saw me on Foxhole or wherever you see me. For now tuning in, I appreciate it. But it's a lot of game on this channel if y'all go back and watch some older videos that only got 30 views. They don't have 30 views because they whack. They only have 30 views because nobody knew me back then. So go back and watch the video I did on Black Lives Matter. I did a full breakdown on Act Blue, the organization that takes their money. I broke down who the leaders of Act Blue are and where the money and BLM goes and how we don't touch it. See, the white supremacists play the same game over and over and over again. Same shit, but different toilets. They capitalize off the oppression, off the neglect, off the brutality of black people. They capitalize off of it and make money off of it. The conservatives talk all the shit. The liberals come in like they're gonna save it. They take all the money. They change the conversation. And the conditions of black society stay the same. Black Lives Matter is taking in over $1 billion since Trayvon Martin got killed in 2012. Over $1 billion. I ain't seen them motherfuckers give away a backpack. Yet at the same time, Black Lives Matter is now all Black Lives Matter. And the conversation went from black men, specifically straight black men, being killed by the police, to transgender rights, to LGBTQ, to immigration, to all of these issues that have nothing to do with dealing with white supremacy head on. White supremacy is why black men get killed and get no justice, and black women. Corinne Gaines, Sandra Bland, Patrice Richardson. I can keep going. It was a black 9-year-old that got beat up by a police officer last week. Where the fuck is Black Lives Matter? They put the money up. They now control the message, and they rake in the cash off our suffering. And that's the relationship between the liberal and black America. We can go down the line. We could talk about Susan B. Anthony. We could talk about Margaret Sanger. Remember, Susan B. Anthony was like, shit, I'll die before these niggas get the right to vote before white women. She was fucking with black people when it came time to get her thing up and going, to get her notoriety going. They always fuck with us when it's time to get, because no other group has a legitimate gripe. Let me say that one more time. And let me say that boldly. I'm gonna say this for anybody. If this made you feel any kind of certain way, if this offended you, I'm gonna say it again so it double offends you. No other group has a legitimate gripe. None. None. The white women's movement don't have a legitimate gripe. White women teach their sons and daughters white supremacy, and they understand that system by the age of 12. Don't be under any bullshit illusions. They know what it is by the time they reach high school. So if the moms are inputting and training this system into their own children, Does she really have a legitimate gripe? What is the white woman's gripe? It goes back to another thing Dave Chappelle said. They were in on the heist, but they mad at they cut. The white woman's gripe is her cut of the steal, their cut of the heist. %40 of slave owners were white women. You dig? So they ain't got no gripe. LGBTQ, what's your gripe? Well, your gripe is white men don't treat you right. Your gripe ain't with black people. Black people don't hold any power over gay people. And as a matter of fact, gay people are some of the highest paid people within the church. Think about it, black people don't own that much. The only economies we allowed to control is barbershops, the church, and mortuaries. Those are the only economy that black people control within our society. Our barbershops, and barbershops always got a gay barber. We all know that one nigga Sweets in the barbershop. We crack jokes, but he could take it because although he's gay, he's still a man, and we don't really trip on him. And for the ones who do trip, those gay dudes get a little booth at a salon, a hair salon. See, when black people control the economy, we don't stop gay people from getting theirs. They the choir directors. Hell, half these preachers is gay. That's why they always talking shit about gay people. They projecting. We fall down and bend over. You can't tell me Donnie McClurkin ain't gay. This is the way he sing that song. We fall down. He sound like his wrist is limp when he's singing that. We fall down and put our booties up. I'm just playing, gay people. Y'all know. James Cleveland had AIDS. How he get that back in the 80s? We don't stop gay people from participating in our economy. We just give them jokes. So what's a gay person's gripe? White supremacy. That's why white people had to go and open up their whole little ass city here in LA, West Hollywood. They was doing that to escape other white people. Not to escape black people. And I always say, I got to understand West Hollywood real well for them 4 years I drove Uber. Because I was always in that motherfucker. Because West Hollywood had the biggest surges. 4.0 surge at 3 a.m. Shit. Hell yeah, I'm being West Hollywood. As the bussy crowd is letting out of the club at 2:15 a.m. 3.9 surge. Shit. Right about to pay me $90 to go 6 miles. But what did I see when I was over there in West Hollywood? The gay black people being discriminated against. The white gay people getting to the front of the line. The black people getting in my car after the club was closed. Mad that they couldn't get in the first 2 spots that they went. Because of racism, because of how they was dressed. When other gay people dress the same way. How the hell is a gay bar gonna have a dress code? Y'all got y'all nuts showing through y'all jeans. Yo, this is before skinny jeans and tight jeans became a thing. Gay dudes been walking around in meat jeans since forever. Why the hell is a gay bar gonna have a dress code? But I get in my Uber at night when the gay dudes are going back to the ghetto, the black gay ones, they complaining about the same issues that the straight black people complain about when I pick them up from the club on Uber. So we can X that gripe out. There's no system targeting them for economic oppression. There's no system gentrifying them out their neighborhoods. There's no system in banking like Steve Mnuchin here in California that targeted specifically women, specifically gay, specifically immigrant homes for repossession illegally. It was the black homes. Black people make up less than 10% of the population here in California, but made up like over 30 or 40% of the illegally repossessed homes. This is whether you black gay, whether you're a black woman, lesbian, trans, straight, eunuch. The system targets us the same. So they get people like Collin Kaepernick, like the NAACP, like Black Lives Matter, to put money up and fund our silence by diverting the conversation to anything but how systematic white supremacy is targeting black people. Ass fucked up, man. This dude said, hella pussy juice on your back seat, cuz. Hey, I'm telling you right now, Magnetic, look, when I was done driving Uber, I made sure I got the dopest, greatest detail ever. I had the whole COVID wipe down, all that shit when I got done driving Uber. You're right. I probably had all kind of brown juice on the stains of my seats. But that's all good. I ain't tripping. Cause like, look, man, look. I didn't trip on gay people getting in my car, man, because gay people are still people. All right? I don't have no issues with gay people. As a matter of fact, I'd have some of my dopest conversations with the gay. That's how I understood what happened so much. Because we talk. Me and the gay folks, when they get in the backseat of my car, on the Uber drives, we talk about what happened that night. They, you know, people talk about they fun. You know, when people are drunk, they open their mouth, they talk. I had no issue with that, man. Look, man. No, I never kicked it with no gay people. Like, straight people and gay people really don't kick it like that. That's why I'm always tripping on these little numbers when they say, oh, black trans, a black gay person was assaulted. Well, if a black gay person was assaulted, it was probably by another gay person. Because straight people and gay people really don't kick it like that. We just got different energies. No disrespect, but our energies are way different. I used to have this one dude I played the drums with. He was gay. He would never say it, but I knew he was gay. But me and homie would go to the bar sometime. Talk music. Go back in the recording session, do music. I wasn't tripping. He had women around when I was around. We did music together, especially if you're a musician. You're gonna be around gay people if you're a musician. So there ain't nobody to be afraid of. But a straight person and a gay person, we just think different. We operate different. We move different. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. Because the last thing I want to do is be kicking it with somebody and we talking about women and this nigga I'm talking about how hard he throw it back on another nigga. I'd have a problem then. Like, no, nigga, I don't want that visual, dog. Get the fuck away from me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want that. But black gay people run into the same problem as black straight people. White supremacy. Period. And we got to know that. We got to know that. And we got to accept that. And that's why we have to, as black people, we have to step up. when these other groups try to redefine our narrative. Because that's what they do. They put their money up to change what we saying. This nigga saying Andrew Gillum was in my backside. See, that's why I don't be looking at the chat when I'm talking. Y'all niggas is funny. I'm purposely not looking at the chat. Y'all clowning. Dashay Lehman said Dwan keeps lubing missing his Uber. Fuck y'all. I can't be looking at y'all, dog. I gotta go back to what I gotta say without looking at the chat. You niggas is fools. Oh shit. Back to Collin Kaepernick. The whole reason why I'm having this whole conversation, this talk today, because I personally, I'm done with football. I don't watch football. I'm done. For me personally, Collin Kaepernick, he just voiced certain things that I was already feeling. And when I saw the way Jerry Jones, because I used to be, unfortunately, I was a Cowboy fan. When I watched football, I was a Cowboy fan. As terrible as they've been since 1996, yeah, I did stick with them. That's because my heart was always with the LA Raiders. I was a kid growing up as an LA Raider fan. Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson were playing at the LA Coliseum. And every day when I left from my parents, whenever we left my parents' house to go to my grandparents' house, we drove down King Boulevard and I would pass the Coliseum daily to go to my grandmother's house. Or if I was leaving my grandmother's house going back home. So I got the drive pass where the Raiders played every day to go home. So I was a Raider fan, huge Raider fan. Now the Clippers played right next door to that arena, and that driving past still wasn't enough for me to become a Clippers fan. The Clippers wasn't shit, they still ain't shit. But I'm saying that to say I was a lifelong football fan. LA Raiders, and then when they left LA and went back to Oakland, I said, fuck y'all. Y'all want to leave LA? Well, fuck y'all. I'll become a Cowboy fan because my grandmother's from Dallas and my family's from Dallas, so I'll become a Cowboy fan. And I watched football faithfully. I had NFL Sunday ticket. You know, I knew a couple cats that played. I played a little bit of high school football. I was deep into football. My Super Bowl parties were the shit. I remember one of my Super Bowl parties I had at my parents' house. And that was Big Ja rolled through. Y'all know Big Ja. This is back when his videos was getting he was putting them same videos out just as funny. His shit was getting 30 views. Now every time a nigga put a video out, it's 500,000. 600,000 views per video. Salute to Big Ja. Ja Day. But yeah, he came by a couple of the Super Bowl parties back in the day before none of you niggas knew who we were. I'd have them Super Bowl parties. So I'm just saying that to say I really, really, really was somebody that was into football. I wasn't one of these fringe people who it was easy to dump the game. But when I saw how Jerry Jones was talking you niggas is gonna stand, you better not follow his lead or you off the team. And I saw these big 330-pound millionaires saying, yes, massa. And then you got all these coons like Ray Lewis who run their mouth. All these former football coons just talking shit about anything black. Just the whole environment around the whole Colin Kaepernick protest made me be like, you know what? I can't really fuck with y'all like that. I can't really take this football thing serious. Y'all dudes is hoes. Y'all let these people talk to y'all like that? And football's already a sport where you literally risking life and limb. People that retire with lifelong migraines and fucked up bodies. Junior Seau was one of my favorite players of all time. So when he killed himself because of them migraines, that hurt me. I was a huge Junior Seau fan. I was really pulling for him in that Super Bowl against Steve Young and the 49ers. Because I hated Steve Young. Because I was a Joe Montana fan. And Steve Young was a sorry version of Joe Montana. I couldn't stand him. So I was rooting for Junior Seau in that Super Bowl. Natron Means was the running back. Was it Steve Humphries was the quarterback? That sorry son of a bitch? Or Salisbury, one of them white boys? I was a huge football fan. But seeing how those players and the whole environment around Collin Kaepernick, that made me just be like, you know what? I'm good. And I was telling people back then, don't make this about Collin Kaepernick. If you make it about Collin Kaepernick, it ain't gonna last. So for a long time, I was mad at black people for going back to watching football. Then I realized, well, Colin Kaepernick ain't been saying nothing, and they made it about Kaepernick. Why wouldn't they go back to watching football? Especially when this happened right here. Jigaboo Z. I knew this then. This how smart the NFL is and how dumb a lot of niggas are. I remember seeing this move when it happened, thinking like, man, hopefully black people are smart enough not to fall for this. The NFL, in order to get black people back, on one hand, the liberal white supremacists came in and funded and came in like a Trojan horse, like Captain Save-A-Ho, and gave Colin Kaepernick $20 million and netted $26 billion and silenced the movement. And then the hardcore white supremacists said, okay, we're not going to change anything. We're not going to speak up for you niggas. But we'll bring in Jay-Z. We'll bring in Jay-Z to curate the NFL's entertainment and Rock Nation. And although I don't watch the Super Bowl, I don't watch this shit anymore. I heard about last year's halftime fiasco. And I did see this year's halftime fiasco. I went by my parents' house. I just got a thumbs down. That must be one of them Jay-Z dick suckers that just left the room. Hey, look, let me tell y'all something right now. There's a lot of people new listening to me. I'm not impressed by niggas like Jay-Z. All right? So if you're looking for a place, I will tell the truth about Jay-Z. I will give him credit where credit's due. But I'm not a fanboy of this nigga. And if you're one of the people that want to heap all the praises on him and he don't do no wrong, I'm just going to piss you off. So I'm just going to let y'all know that shit right now. I see through Jigaboo Z's bullshit, all right? I see through it. I know when controlled opposition is just sitting right in front of me. I've studied white supremacy long enough to understand Jay-Z's role in this whole thing. If you don't understand it, keep listening and I'll help you. If you don't want to listen and you don't want to understand, that's fine too. I don't want to convince you. I ain't here to convince nobody is shit. But if you open and you willing to listen, I'll present my case. And you can either agree or disagree. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me either way it goes. But what you're not gonna do is get in my comments. And this is specifically for you niggas that like to put in comments after the show's over with and had write these long paragraphs about something I said that you don't like. Go tell your mama. She's the only person that cares about you. I don't. You dig? Just expressing my opinion and from my point of view. That's all. Well, anyway, you right about that too, Chris Johnson. LeBron. What's up, Jay, the self-esteem queen? Yeah, LeBron, Jay-Z, they're the same thing. LeBron, I see through that shit too, but cats be a little more sensitive about LeBron, so unfortunately, I gotta talk about LeBron to grown 40-year-old men. I gotta talk about him with I gotta treat him with kids' gloves. Because these men that claim straight got, you know, these homoerotic relationships with LeBron James and Jay-Z that we gotta at some point address within black society. These homoerotic relationship niggas have with these grown ass men. That's a problem. You shouldn't be able to not talk about somebody because a man's feelings. Come on, black men, fellas. That's some shit we gotta rid ourselves of. Niggas catching feelings over grown ass men they don't know. Chris Johnson, go in on Bron, fuck that. But yeah, we gotta address that. I might do I have done shows addressing this before, and back in my archives, there's some more right there. But this will be something that I continually bring up, because when we as black men have these love affairs with these black entertainers that clouds us from seeing the chess plays, we compromise the whole society. Part of being leaders, men, is being leaders. Leader means taking the good with the bad. Leader means, even though something may personally kind of rub you the wrong way, being able to see past it rubbing you the wrong way. We're not seeing things the right way because the way you feel about somebody. You can talk about the women all they want. You can talk about the women all you want. But we got to show the women through our actions. And you can't go around talking about the women and them listening to Oprah too much, or women, they do this if you still got a love affair with Jay-Z and LeBron James. It don't sound right coming off your lips. When you got dick stains on your lips, fellas, what you saying don't sound right. All right? So Jay-Z partnered with the NFL. Why did the NFL partner with Jay-Z? They know too many, not all, but they know too many black men have a love affair with Jay-Z. Jay-Z said something on Real Time with Bill Maher when he interviewed him back in 2008, 2009. He was like, why do people like you so much? Jay-Z said, people live through my lyrics. They see themselves as me. That's why he could shit on you. You got niggas living in the projects talking about they wealth. Because for 2.5, 3, 4 minutes, when Jay-Z's rapping, when he's rapping other words people said first, did I say that? Over beats that are already proven. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas can hear me. I like the way Lauryn Hill said it better when she said it first. Well, anyway, they know that these grown-ass men live vicariously through Jay-Z. So when Jay-Z came and they signed Roc Nation, talks of whatever protests was left over went poof, gone. Niggas was like, well, Collin Kaepernick ain't said nothing in a year. Jay-Z's back. This is one of Jay-Z's chess moves. Ooh, Jay-Z is playing chess. Chess. Jay-Z playing chess. Jay-Z playing chess. So I can go back to watching football. You niggas, you. Like I said, I can't get too mad at you because Collin Kaepernick was the reason why you stopped watching. You made it about him. But Jay-Z brought you back. Like a camel in the desert. His lips ain't only camel-like, his movements are too. And niggas went back to watching football. Niggas got so downright indignant, they get mad at you for even bringing it up. Hey, weren't you protesting football back in 2016? Nigga, that was the past. Shit. Niggas get mad. Jay-Z brought people back because that's what Jay-Z is. Jay-Z is Collin Kaepernick. He's the NAACP. He's the Urban League. He's Jesse Jackson. He's John Lewis. Ooh, am I hurting people's feelings? Jay-Z is John Lewis. Jay-Z's the safe Negro that they put a lot of money behind. For us to follow. Beyonce too with the women. She's in this too. She's in this too. I'm not saying everything she does is bad. Beyonce does some dope stuff. But who was sitting next to Hillary Clinton? Jay-Z and Beyonce. Anytime it's time to vote for the Democrats, that's one of your clues. When it's time to vote for the Democrats, the people coming out doing cartwheels and flipping, they're not for you. Those are highly paid people to be representatives of them, to lead your black ass back to them. Common is another one. And I used to actually be a Common fan. Oh shit, Nike calling me. I gotta answer this call later. I just ordered some of them Jordan 35s. Yeah, for you niggas. Yeah. I do buy Jordans. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Yes, I do. Proudly. The motherfuckers fit my feet comfortably. Well, anyway, Jay-Z Common is another one. You right, Chris Johnson. Common is a super simp. And I'm going to tell y'all when the shit flipped with Common. You remember it was one of the last episodes of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. When Jon Stewart was on The Daily Show. It was around the time that he won that Oscar. That nigga flipped. Jon Stewart said, what do we need to do to bring the race relationships together? And I don't know if y'all remember this. At 11:11 a.m. on the Pacific. Beautiful time, 11:11. Common said, all black people need to do is reach out our hands and show love. Common, really? Nigga, I heard Pop's rap on the Like Water for Chocolate album. You know better, Common. You the nigga that said we need whole steps to reach Hotep. Hotep meaning peace and love. We need to take whole steps to reach peace and love within us. That's what you said in your lyrics, nigga. Now you see Common, vote blue, vote blue. Let's come together. LGBTQ is just as is just as serious as black oppression, they may as well put a skirt and high heels on this nigga Common. I used to love Common. I met the brother one time. He seemed hella solid. I met him at a Clipper game. I used to go in the Staples Center Friends and Family Room before every game. And you meet different people. I met Kanye and Kim there. Me and Larry used to be in that motherfucker high as hell. Y'all know Larry. Me and Larry would get high as hell. Go to them Clipper games, go right to the Friends and Family Room because they always had dope food in there. I'll get there about an hour before the game. And so one game we got there about an hour before the game, hour and a half. And it was just me, Larry, and Common in Staples Center in the Friends and Family Room. And mind you, this is before he had that thing with Jon Stewart where he talked about reaching his hand out. This is back when, in my mind at least, he was still Common. Man, me, Larry, and Common, man, we talked for like 30 minutes. Had a dope-ass conversation. He seemed super cool. And it was about 6 months after that is when he won that fucking Oscar or whatever. And he started talking about reaching our hands out. Again, these white folks putting money behind him. You notice Common started acting like that when he started getting all these movie roles and TV show roles. Again, give a nigga a little bit of money to change the conversation. It happens over and over and over and over and over again. And with Jay-Z, look, you could have at least, if you're going to take that money, you can't give at least great acts a chance. You can't let Snoop perform. You can't throw it out there to Outkast, nigga. You can't give it to the real for real artists, the for real talent. You give a spot to The Weeknd? Nigga. The Weeknd? I didn't watch much of the game, but I told you I got to my parents' house just as this motherfucker was coming on. And my first thought was, who the fuck is this in this Richard Pryor jacket? Who is this? Why the fuck is this nigga in this jacket? Why is he doing these fake ass Michael Jackson moves? Why does all this music suck? Why ain't he hitting no notes? Why is he singing through an auto-tuner? This is what you do with your power, Jay-Z? You put this Canadian motherfucker on stage? This marginal motherfucker? And he didn't even have no features, and they said that he spent $7 million of his own dollars for that trash? Did y'all see that shit? That was horrible. Again, non-black Americans doing black music, and that shit sucks. Yeah, I said it. Not all. Loose Ends was non-black. They were British black Americans, but they was good. There's this British black chick named Yasmin Lacey. She dope. I love Yasmin Lacey's music. Adrian Young got a CD out right now with Angela Munoz. She ain't one of us, but her shit is dope. But the non-black Americans that they elevate and put on TV, These niggas suck. I said it. That shit was terrible. I just got another thumbs down. That must be somebody who likes the Weeknd's music. Look, if you're somebody who falls on the store for the Weeknd, I don't want you listening to me anyway, goddammit. That's shit. You got bad taste. That's gonna have me questioning my style. Not me questioning me. You right, Danny Kim, the Super Bowl halftime show went from Michael Jackson to this. Oh my God. I've seen middle school plays that had better production. That sorry ass halftime performance made me miss my church's Easter plays. My church did the same damn Easter play every Easter. They would change it up. Church always had the light-skinned nigga play Jesus. Church always gonna have a part in the play where the old people check the young people. You ain't right. You need to do it right. And you need to call on Jesus. And then they'll play the little bullshit thunder in the background. And then they had that scene where Jesus is at my church where Jesus is walking down the middle of the aisle and he has the cross. And then somebody else, usually one of the kids that's in youth service, got one of the fake whips, and he whipping Jesus's back. And then the dude is carrying the cross, and then he gets to the top of the cross, and then they nail him to the cross. Then it goes dark. Then a whole bunch of thunder, and they turn the lights off. But the windows of the church ain't got no cover on them, so you still see the light. So you see Jesus get off the cross and run behind the curtain. But we all gonna act like we didn't see that. You know what I mean? And then Jesus run behind the curtains. Then the scene comes where everybody's fake crying, like, we lost our Lord and Savior Jesus. And then you sitting there and everybody knows what's coming. And they talking about, oh, I lost Jesus. And then the lights turn off again, and then the thunder rolls. But the dude in the audio department is late hitting play on the tape for the audio. So everybody in the play is kind of waiting for the thunder to hit before they move. Everybody just sitting there, but the audio nigga hit play, but he ain't got the mic turned on because it's audio, it's church audio, not the real audio. And he hit the thunder, then boom, and then all the lights turn back on. Then light-skinned Jesus pop back out with his arms out, and everybody plays celebrate, Jesus celebrate, and everybody's celebrating because Jesus is risen. You know that play gonna happen every Sunday at church. And that play is way better than that shit we saw yesterday with the Weeknd at the Super Bowl. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Come on, Jay-Z. You sell your people out and you give us this nigga? You couldn't give us Anderson .Paak? Look, man, I'm telling you right now, Anderson .Paak is the dopest R&B cat of the last 10 years. Anderson .Paak. If you want some real R&B, listen to that nigga. Yeah. So, I don't watch football. I don't like the way they talk to black people. I don't fuck with it. And now, I watched a little bit of the game yesterday. I see I ain't missing shit. Because back when I watched football, it was Prince performing at the halftime show. It was Janet Jackson performing at the halftime show. We went from that to some nigga named Weeknd, whose music is worse than a Gloomy Monday. Hell yeah, Anderson .Paak is the real deal. I love Robert Glasper's music. It's a lot of dope ass music that's out right now. I like basically anything Adrian Young and Shaheed Muhammad produce. They be putting me on different people. I like Terrence Martin, and I like the people that Terrence Martin produces. There's a lot of dope ass music out there. I'm not here to shit on this generation's music. Thundercat. There's a lot of dope R&B out there right now. This nigga ain't it. Yeah, I get bigger. Ooh, I love that song. No worries. Hell yeah, I love that shit. But yeah, we gotta know that, black people. We have to know that the white supremacists, the liberal style of white supremacy, is to take whatever we're doing, put money behind it, and control the message. That's how liberal white supremacy works. And that's why, again, I wasn't afraid of Trump. Because one thing I know about us as black people, when we see our enemy, we do pretty good. And overall, we did pretty good under Trump. Like, Trump made a lot of black people get on cold with one another. Trump made a lot of black people see what it is and come together and get serious. A person like Joe and Kamala, the Democrats, they make black people less on our square. And when we're less on our square, they do a whole lot of shit around us. Like I showed y'all a couple weeks ago on my broadcast, how Joe Biden is putting money behind immigration, behind LGBTQ, behind everything except for specifically black people. I encourage people to look up, yesterday, Jason Black, TBA, did a great broadcast breaking down this new American legislation work that Kamala's saying is for black people. I'm not going to do a breakdown on that because I think Jason Black did a masterful breakdown. No, it was Saturday. He did a masterful breakdown of this new policy that they're saying is for black people. But when you read the paperwork and read it, it's more about Native Americans and everybody non-black. So I encourage y'all to look up Jason Black's Saturday broadcast on that for greater detail. I'm not going to repeat what I heard other people say, and there's no need to. When you hear that massive of a breakdown of what happened, I believe in. Look, man, we all got to pass the information. There's plenty of there's plenty of people out there sending and giving information on our behalf. We just got to tune into them. We all got our own roles in this thing. I see shit from my point of view. Others see it from theirs. But it all goes back to what we're talking about, how liberal white supremacy works. The liberals get in. They use us as the face to everything wrong. They get a lot of money to themselves. And they keep it. And they leave us ass out. We got 223 here, 172 likes. Get that over 200 likes, please, please, please. And remember to get your shit. Fuller, Clark, Welsing, Van Sertima, Benyakinen. I'm going to come out with a new scholar shirt pretty soon. Y'all see the Dr. John Henry Clark? You see the Martin Luther King shirt? The Hotepish shirt? I got some more t-shirts coming, but these shirts come to me in my dreams. That's usually how they come. They come to me in my dreams, and then I wake up, and I get on my computer, and I get to designing them. Or I'll call my man Joe Fox. God damn it, I gotta call Joe Fox again. I gotta have him on the show, because I want to hear, we gonna talk. I'm kind of like I told y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm behind on my guests. I got a few guests lined up that I really want to talk to, but I've just been lazy about scheduling shit. I've just been lazy about scheduling stuff. But yeah, I'll call Joe Fox and he'll put together a design for like these. He's the one that kind of fuzzies these images out for me. So I'm gonna have some new t-shirts coming up pretty soon about our black scholars. Somebody said, don't take my scholar shirt idea. I don't know your scholar shirt idea, shit. All I know is what comes to me in my sleep. You know what else? Sort of the only thing that, let me see here. I'm looking in the chat room. Let me say something, people. Look, you're gonna crack jokes. Make sure the jokes are funny. That's my only requirement. Make sure that your jokes are funny. Especially if it's a fat joke. Those are very easy to pull off. Super, super easy. Don't tell dirty jokes. Nobody likes bad joke tellers. Oh yeah, I'm saying in the chat room, someone said Tariq said Cube needs to check in with him before meet with a Biden. Maybe, I don't, you know, we'll see. Cube has had a very good hand on the pulse of black people for over 30 years now. Like I tell people all the time, if you want to understand the LA riots, listen to Death Certificate. One of the greatest pieces of art ever put together. Facts. But yeah, back to what we were talking about here. You know, just don't be so quick to jump on stuff. Like, I started noticing shit about Collin Kaepernick. I started noticing his silence almost right away. It took me, he talked a lot through the end of the 2016 season. But as 2017 started to come, he started getting really silent. And then 2018 I started to notice, you know, a little bit of funniness, probably about summer 2017. But I didn't say anything. I didn't speak up. I didn't say anything because I like to observe how things play out. But the minute I saw Nike put that money up, that's when I knew, well, if it wasn't something else, it is something else now. Because these white supremacists don't put their money up unless they're trying to control what you're going to say. And that's why here at Hotepish, Intelligent Ish Talk, I don't have this channel monetized. Y'all watch this shit? Do y'all get commercials? Y'all shouldn't. Because I don't monetize it. Because the minute you put money, the minute they start putting money up, they then can say, oh, you said something offensive to this group, and we're going to demonetize your channel. Or we're going to take that video down because of something you said to somebody that we like, about somebody we like. So I don't monetize this channel. If y'all notice, if you want to donate to the Cash App, I appreciate that. I accept donations to my Cash App. If the people like what I'm doing, you want to hear what I have to say, people will donate to the Cash App. And people do donate to my Cash App, and I appreciate it. And I think people donate because that's what I do. I pay it forward. I'm someone who, I've been donating to Colin Edison for years. For years I've been putting money in every now and again on the Tariq's Melanoid Ministry or Jason Black's billboards. I'm not that kind of person. I pay it forward. I ain't gonna just ask for this shit. Matter of fact, I wasn't even gonna put my Cash App out there until my wife was like, man, as much as you be donating to people and paying it forward and do what you do, people may want to donate. So yeah, so I put it out there. But no, I don't monetize my channel because that's what YouTube uses as leverage to censor what I have to say. And it ain't enough money out here to censor what the fuck I got to say. I wouldn't be able to sleep well at night if I was being censored. If I had to mute myself, that would give me a headache beyond repair. I've gone through that my years as a comedian, going to certain comedy clubs that want you not to talk about this, not talk about that. Comedy stopped being fun when that happened. This has to stay fun. And the only way it's gonna stay fun for me is if I can run my mouth freely. Herbie Wolf said he thought the NFL shut because of the NFL. He did have a settlement, but again, settlement money. The settlement was part of it. The settlement is part of being quiet. But the message changed when Nike came in. That's when the message changed. That's when all this, we need to protect women's and LGBTQ and immigrant rights and all these things that are not black. When he did speak with Nike, the shit stopped being black. Beaumont Sinclair, no, Cube does not need to apologize for saying nobody. Nobody wasn't doing shit. Context, people, context. When he said nobody, meaning nobody with a platform like his. He acknowledged Dr. Claude Anderson and those people. Matter of fact, Dr. Claude Anderson played a part of it. So Cube knew people was doing something about it. Just not the people who have a platform like him. So no, he does not owe us an apology. No, he doesn't. The context of what he was saying was artists and people with a public platform, like on the level of Ice Cube, they weren't doing nothing, and they weren't. So Cube did the right thing. He got the scholars together that had already been doing it. That's how you do it. The people with the public platform, they don't have to be the geniuses. They don't have to be the brains behind this shit. All they got to do is use their platform to shine a spotlight on the people with the brains. That's all you got to do. Black folks, people, that one thing I'm going to end this on this pretty soon. I'm about to end this. We got to get off that whole looking for leadership thing. And a lot of people here in this chat room, for the most part, are already on it. You're right, Lady Hotep. I tune out as soon as I hear people of color. What's up, Delana from Niagara Falls, New York? But black folks need to stop with the bullshit. When we follow leaders, all they have to do is pick off that leader. Sometimes that leader's picked off the way they picked off King and X. Sometimes leaders are silenced, like Muhammad Ali. I remember Dick Gregory said that a long time. Dick Gregory said, they didn't say they was going to kill Ali, but they did say they was going to silence him. I don't believe, look, it's a lot of people that got MS. They still could talk. Shit, Maurice White had MS, and he was still singing with Earth, and Fire through 2005, at least on the album. You can still talk with MS. Michael J. Fox can still talk. You can still talk with in Parkinson's. You can still talk. How Muhammad Ali's Parkinson's stopped him from talking? I don't know about that. But it's a condition that happened to him. Salute to Muhammad Ali. He stayed down as long as he could talk. Shit. As long as he could talk, he said the right things. Or they'll do what they did to Paul Robeson. Like I always said before, look up Paul Robeson. Paul Robeson was bigger. Look, Paul Robeson was bigger than Ali in 1960. He was bigger than King in 1958, 1959. Paul Robeson had more sway with the world than King and X. First black person to play football for Rutgers University, went on to become one of the first black lawyers at a prestigious law firm in New York, quit that law firm when he realized and he found out that he couldn't defend the major clients, that they keep him to just the black clients, and he couldn't take on any of the corporate work that paid the big money. He quit that, became a fucking actor, sang Old Man River, sang that shit. Became one of the most famous men in the world and used his voice to speak up for black people. Black people, black people, black people. Used his voice up until the day he couldn't. 1960, he goes to a party somewhere in Russia. He drinks a drink. And I got this from his biography done by his own family. He drinks a drink, hallucinates. And after he drinks that drink, he's never the same. Almost dies. Has a breakdown. And he goes from being one of the greatest voices Black America has ever heard and seen to living the next 15 years of his life in recluse out of fear of being poisoned again. A lot of speculation that he was poisoned in the MK Ultra program. Speculation, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it ain't. This is just what I've heard and what I've read about what happened to the great Paul Robeson. But he was silenced. They don't really poison people like that anymore. They don't really kill them well. They got Khalid Muhammad. They got, Johnny Cochran. But that's rare that they do it like that. Now what they do is, for the most part, they pay you off. They give you a boatload of money to just stop talking black. Talk about anything but black. And as long as black people continue to follow leaders, as long as black people continue to follow individuals, as long as what's happening in the world comes down to a personality contest, we always gonna lose. Leaders get picked off. Messages live forever. Let me say that again. Leaders get picked off. Messages last forever. When the Roman Empire was afraid of Hannibal and Carthage, because Hannibal used to come around and beat the dog shit out the Roman Empire, there was a saying in Rome amongst the elite and amongst the people who cared most about Rome. They would walk around Rome and upon greeting each other, they said hi. Well, their word for hi in their language. And in their language, they say the equivalent of Carthage must be destroyed. Carthage must be destroyed became a slogan during the height of the Roman Empire. Because as long as Carthage was relevant and around, and Hannibal Barca, Rome was under threat. Rome wasn't the ace. Rome didn't have autonomous power the way that I could tell you niggas in history class. Rome was scared of the Carthaginians. Hannibal Barca. The light-skinned niggas of Rome versus the dark-skinned niggas of Carthage. They developed a term. It was Carthage must be destroyed. Why did they say Carthage must be destroyed? To remind and keep in the minds of the people who controlled the power and the people who cared about the long-term sustainability of Roman Empire and Roman dominance, that the only way this shit is going to maintain and stay the way we want it is if Carthage is destroyed. White folks understand that when you the minute you focus on a problem, the problem gets solved. No problem can be solved that doesn't have a focus. If the focus is everywhere, that means the problem's not going to get solved. Now, I'll tell you the truth, the Romans weren't the ones that ended up destroying Carthage. Hannibal Barca went around to where old ancient Mesopotamia is. He used to have these proxy wars where he'd go around beating everybody's asses and and killing off supply chains and trade chains to Rome so that they wouldn't get resources. And in one of the wars that Hannibal Barca had before, because he, instead of marching his elephants directly into Rome, he decided to go all the way around Rome and go up into what's now Turkey, ancient Mesopotamia, and those areas. And it was when he went around, he ended up losing a war away from Rome, and Carthage got destroyed anyway. The Romans weren't the ones that took it down, but Carthage still was taken down, and Rome maintained his dominance. I'm using it as an example for us. When we're talking about systematic racism and white supremacy, we have to keep that on the topic. But we have to do this, including me. I ain't preaching to you motherfuckers. I gotta remember this too. We gotta do it as a means of business. See it as business. Don't get the emotion involved. Just like these Jay-Z niggas. Don't be a Jay-Z nigga and get emotional about it. Don't be a bronsexual getting emotional about it. Oh, you must treat us right. Oh, it's unfair. Oh. Fuck all that. We ain't got time for that shit. Be non-emotional about it. This is business. And when it comes to politics, when it comes to these politicians talking to us, we have a black first agenda. We get resources back to us. That's our job. That's our responsibility. To when, if we're going to talk about black lives and black people getting killed, we got to be the ones responsible for getting the information and the resources back to black people. Because as long as these liberals come in and control the narrative and control the money, they're going to take the money and send it back to them. They ain't fucking with us. They're going to take the money and bounce. And we're going to be left holding the bag without shit. So it's on us to control our narrative. It's on us to control who's allowed to come in our society and speak for us, which should only be us. And people who got other agendas, a religious agenda, a sexual agenda, an immigrant agenda, or any of these other issues, that's fine. But take your agenda over there. Don't conflate it with us. Don't conflate it with the needs of black people. Because the needs of black people is all encompassing. It covers black men. It covers black women. It covers black trans. It covers black gay. It covers black midgets. It covers the poor, the rich, the weak, the meek, the tall, the short, the ugly. Especially you ugly motherfuckers. Look, we need reparations because half these niggas need their teeth fixed. You feel me? But don't get them Boyce Watkins teeth. Remember his teeth when he first got them new ones put in. Them veneers, boy. Woo! Woo! But the Black First Agenda covers everyone who's black, foundational here in America, didn't immigrate. They were either brought here by force through the slave trade or were already here. Their family goes back and lived through Jim Crow, lived through slavery, and they identify as black now. That's the group that needs the most help. So we stay focused on that. And anyone diverting the attention to anything else can get the hell out the way. No need to fight them. No need to beat them up. Just politely ask them to show themselves out the door and go get with other people. If you think gay is the issue, then make gay the issue. That's fine. But when we talking about black stuff, we're talking about black people, regardless of your sexual preference. Period. What y'all talking about in the chat room? Y'all be arguing in the chat room? That shit going back too far. She said, Lady Hotel said, I started tuning in to Boys Walkers again. And she like, what the fuck? Yeah, boys. I gotta love hate. I don't say hate. I like boys, but then I gotta take breaks from boys at the same time. God damn, every video you gotta remind me you're a financial, you got a PhD? Nigga, I know. I've been listening to you since 2015, dog. Chill. But I love when Boyce has Dr. Claude Anderson on. I love it. I love when he has him on. But his teeth, though, man, I feel like a Halloween costume. Hell yeah, LGBTQ is divisive. Yes, it's very divisive because I don't believe in that what people do in the bedroom has anything to do with politics. Now, I do agree that when they say, okay, you can get married, that's fine. I don't have an issue with gay people getting married. I don't have an issue with them being able to, leave a spouse. That okay. That was political. You want to get married, fine. If it's illegal to get married and you need a political license to get married, fine. But once they got the right to get married to each other, now what the fuck does bedroom have to do with politics? Now that politics is no longer in the way of you freely doing the thing of marrying somebody, now let's get back to talking about human rights and shit. And rights to cover you whether you gay, straight, or indifferent. But they constantly, the gay people constantly come in on what black people are doing. That's the problem. If they can just keep it with what they doing, look, that's fine, whatever. But y'all come in with Black Lives Matter, or black people getting killed, and then you want to go ahead and put a gay flag up. No, that's very divisive. Because no one's asking the sexuality of Philando Castile. It doesn't matter the sexuality of Corinne Gaines. It doesn't matter the sexuality of Tamir Rice. Matter the nigga too young to even have a preference yet. Some of these black kids are getting killed before they even have a chance. It don't matter what sexuality Trayvon Martin was. If he was gay, he would have gotten the same level of support that he got being straight. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Justice is justice. So when we get to talking about justice and you want to start talking about your dick, that's divisive. That's very divisive. All I know is when Subway see Boyce Watkins coming, they get like, oh, we about to sell 2 of these sandwiches. This nigga, Boyce can eat a 6-inch in 2 bites, nigga. You're right, Danny Cam. Sexuality is a distraction. And unfortunately, a lot of people that are into that sexuality shit, you tell them that, you be straight up with it, they take offense to it. They think you're talking about them and their sex. No, I'm not. Your sex is being used as a Trojan horse. And look up a video that I did about 6 months ago I think it was like back in June, on the LGBTQ Trojan horse. I broke that whole goddamn thing down. Back when I first started doing videos by myself. I think that was one of the first videos I did by myself. But go back and watch that. I talked about how they use the LGBTQ agenda over our stuff. And that's where the problem is. Right there. Let LGBTQ stand on its own. Let that stand on its own. Let them have their rights. I'm fine with that. But don't conflate your shit with our shit. Take the rights and then go back to your small city and still treat gay black people the same way you treat straight ones. But that's all I gotta say today. I gotta get to go see some clients. Remember this, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up game. Get your t-shirts at hotepish.com/apparel. Donate to the Cash App. Thank you, Daniel Kim, for the donation. I appreciate that, my brother. But we'll be about it here, and I'll holler at y'all soon. Thanks.